Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Well, I have like this wind thing with this other thing, so I just need to make sure that everybody can hear me and that the sound quality is okay. I'll put it one in the chat if you can hear me. Thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. I'm letting the chat kind of update because I know that there's always like a delay. Let me share this with people and let them know that we're live. Welcome. Everybody heard me? Oh my God. Is it good? Sound quality good? Thank you. So many questions still. The more that comes up, right? We live now. Now, hold up. What is wrong with my keyboard? Here it is. Sorry, y'all. I always got stuff all over. It's never just like a clean desk as much as I want it to be. It just isn't. It's just the reality of it. I always have everything on my desk. Everything and everything's always on my desk, always at my reach. Welcome, everybody. Let me let everybody know we live now. Welcome, everybody. Shout out to you guys in the chat. My goodness, man. It's like we keep finding out more information. Let's be very real. A lot of the mainstream media is now looking into the Reddits, pulling pictures from the Reddits, collecting information from the Reddits. Like they can't say that they're not getting information, It's funny because we always get shade from the major media outlets. Thank you, V Kitten. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm trying, y'all, but it's like a mess right now. Welcome, everybody. Hi, it's Juliana. Welcome. Shout out to you. Everybody come through and hit the like button. Okay, guys. So we got to get started right away. There is an article that I really want to talk about that left I saw a lot of creators talking about it, and they were really addressing it, and it came from none other than the Sun. The Sun. So as interesting, I'm like, the Sun, take it for what it's worth, but people are pulling information from various outlets because we're not getting a lot of information. So now we got to go look at the social medias and see what the other people are saying. I know, right? Mainstream media is slow and likes to rob and insult. Thank you so much, keyboard warriors. Have y'all noticed, especially when it comes to this case? Oh, okay, girl. Give me one sec. This is what the major media likes to do. They're late, but then they see somebody on social media talking about it, then they take from social media and they're like, yeah, well, after we verified the information, when the information was already maybe discussed, by another Redditor or outlet user or blogger, we just don't ever get the credit that people like, and then they take from us, and of course, and then they shit on us. That's how they are. But yes. Okay, so let's talk about this article. All right, shout out to everybody in the chat. Disturbing find family. Disturbing finding. Disturbing find. Family of teen found dead in singer David's Tesla breaks silence with personal plea as cops offer details on leave. Yes, my honey. Her family have previously spoke out about a relationship with the music star. So that right there, my friends, is already concerning enough for me. What do you mean relationship? There shouldn't have never been a relationship with a 13-year-old, 15-year-old, and this 20-year-old. The family of a teen found dismembered in a Tesla registered to the music star David have broken silence after she was identified. Now, we knew that the brother gave an interview, right? Kind of knew that. Meanwhile, cops are continuing to probe her death and say they're following up on several leads related to the investigation. Which, is this a black and white situation? Is it pretty straightforward? We know the landlord has spoken out. Landlord says that he rented the house to a Josh Marshall, and they immediately kind of vacated right away. They're like, yeah, we're done. Like, we're breaking the lease right away, right? After the police raids. Which it sounds like Josh and David's items were in this property. I do wonder if Josh was staying in this property with David. If maybe like if the property's under his name, he's an Interscope person, and then like he rented this house for his artist. I mean, it is a thing that some music people agencies will rent properties and have them stay there. They pay later, whatever it may be. So I do have to kind of wonder. I wonder because apparently they had to like break that lease and then kind of go and split. So we know that the Rivas family has been left heartbroken by the discovery, and she is, and has been described as a beloved daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. Her family is heartbroken and devastated by the tragic loss, says the GoFundMe. They have a GoFundMe. I believe they might have met their goal at this point. Her remains were collected yesterday afternoon. We did talk a little bit about that in a shorter video. They did have a vigil, and they've had a couple, I believe, at this point, which, it's bringing the family together, bringing the community together, praying rosaries. Everybody's in prayer, which I think is amazing. It's a great way to bring people together. But people want answers at this point, right? People want answers. Even though I didn't know her, I just couldn't even breathe knowing that a child had to go through that. This is what somebody from the news media said. If it was my daughter, I wouldn't want her to be forgotten. I wouldn't either. I just want justice for this little girl because whatever happened to her wasn't just an accident. I agree. She didn't end up in this car just by herself. Somebody put her there. Somebody did this to this little girl. Okay. It's a little weird to see a car that I haven't seen here for a long time. This is what a resident. So there was a couple of residents that had been interviewed. So locals said the car had a Texas license plate and was dented. Okay. I think that's going to stand out, depending on the residence that you're at. A Tesla with the dented Texas license plate. Yeah. It's weird to see a car that I haven't seen here for a long time, one resident told KABC. So a little odd, but at the same time, people could be hanging out with friends for a long time. Police were seen carrying devices out of that house. Several items of evidence were were recovered and will be analyzed by detectives. I do wonder, what are they going to find in computers? What about her phone? Where did she die? Where did her belongings go? If there was cameras, now mind you, I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't even need a warrant for this, right? They have a warrant to collect whatever they need from the house. But if they were paying for those 2 security cameras that were outside of that property, guys, they're going to need a warrant. Pretty sure they would need an independent warrant for that. I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure that they would need that. Then you have this bodyguard, right? Then you have this bodyguard he's given a couple statements. Weird as hell. There's other people in the circle that have given statements. All of this is so weird. All of it. Welcome, everybody, for those that are new here. We don't know anything yet. And Chef Chai, I feel like you were already a member, but thank you so much for renewing your members. Yeah, you were already a member, my love. I feel like I've seen your name before. Shout out to you. Or you might be new, but let me know in the chat because I feel like I've seen your name before, maybe during the Diddy trial. Shout out to you. I just can't imagine my own daughter being in a relationship with any famous man. There's that. Nothing is looking good, right? At all, guys. So, okay, let's keep going with this. So cops do not know how long Rivas' body was inside the Tesla or what exactly happened to her. I guess that's part of the mystery. Her death date is listed on the Los Angeles Medical Coroner's Office as September 8th. That would have been the day that she was found. So that's sad, because that tells me that they couldn't figure out when she died quite yet. They don't know. And even if they can't find out how she died, if David did something or other people did something to her, they're able to kind of like they're able to proceed, right? This reminds me a lot of the Lacey Peterson case, y'all. Remember all that circumstantial evidence? Lacey Peterson, her body was not intact. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys remember from Modesto, California, everybody. Her body was not intact. And Lacey Peterson, they were able to kind of move forward with charges and whatnot. Yeah, her body was not intact. So there's that. The brother had, you said the brother had something to do with David, brother? What do you mean? Say more. Is Rabbit still on Discord? Yes, we still have a membership Discord, but you have to be a member in order to join the Discord. So y'all remember, right? Everybody remembers for the most part. Mandy, thank you so much for renewing your membership. Welcome, love. Shout out to you. Um, let's see. I'm in Cali and I remember it too. Right. So they were able to move forward with a trial, a conviction of Scott Peterson. So there's that. Actually, I did get somebody to somebody send me the what's the word? That video that Nancy Grace did. I did queue it up so we could talk about it. As much as y'all know, I do not like Nancy Grace, but she touched on something. Talk about major media outlets spreading misinformation that has yet to be confirmed. She would be one of them. So I'm not a fan, but I did queue it up. This is, I don't know if they said that exactly. I have it up and we can review it. There has been rumors about an infant that was found or something like that. That hasn't been confirmed. I still don't feel like it's been confirmed. You say they were still able to see her tattoo, so it wouldn't help the timeline of decomposition. I'm kind of where, if you guys remember yesterday, we had the conversation. I'm kind of like, I think she died maybe months ago. And they were driving around with her body. That's what I think. Like, I think she died way before the tour even started. I'm thinking maybe she died. Now, hold up. There is, speaking of information, right? Apparently, there's been a photo of her. She's been spotted at a concert. It was the week of, they say it was the week of either August 23rd or August 24th. Okay? There you go. There you go. She was making like hearts. Yeah, this year. That's her. So if that's her, it's playing over and over. She was standing next to a young guy. I don't know who this. They said that it was a brother. I'm not really sure. That. August 23rd, 24th. That's when they say. But that don't even look like her brother. Not the one that appeared in the interview. Sorry, I know it's like annoying. But I don't know. Is that really the brother? Wasn't she found in a black tube top? There you go. She was found in a black tube top. Isn't she wearing a black tube top here? Let's see. That's a black tube top. I don't know whose brother that is. They're saying that's her brother. I don't think it's her brother. And TMZ, yeah, black tube top and leggings, right? You know, what if she stayed to tour and then send them back home in a Tesla? Maybe something happened and the brother did it. It's so bizarre. Everything's so bizarre. You know, I was thinking the same, right? Because if she was going, she can't go international tour. I believe they also had a Europe. They had to go to Europe for a tour as well, right? She can't do that. But she could probably, you know, drive around local if there was a tour here in the United States. You said that's David's brother? Is David's brother involved? Is David's brother involved? That's the question that we have. Let's get into this infant, okay? Put a one in the chat because I heard this too, but none of this has been confirmed. We don't know. I'm still standing on it hasn't been confirmed. I don't believe this is accurate. I mean, we just have to be careful. So take news with a grain of salt, whether it's social media or mainstream media. But this is Nancy Grace's own channel. Listen to what she said. Listen.
How do we figure out if she was pregnant?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the key, isn't it? And if they can, and again, Nancy, this is a big if, because I keep hearing these snatches of information about how badly she was decomposed. If they can get into her reproductive system and appreciate the interior of her uterus, there's going to be clues there relative to either a current pregnancy or if she had given birth at some point in time. Remember, she's been in hiding for some time. I think my question would be, was there anything in the house that gave us an indication that
There you
there
go.
may have been some evidence relative to this? How long had she survived? Is there any evidence that there might be a child somewhere out there? And all of this is going to be
Well,
compromised
hold on,
because
Joe
of the
Scott.
advanced.
What can you tell me about infant remains?
There you go. That's the
Yeah,
question.
there's a report that is out there. And again, we haven't been able to validate this yet, but there is actually a report that there.
They have not been able to validate this yet. There is a report. Where did the report come from? They have not been able to validate this yet, guys. I'm just saying, like, this is not coming from law enforcement or the medical coroner's office. It doesn't mean that there's an infant that was found. This is just a report that was put out there.
Were remains found in the Hollywood Hills area and that they were of an infant. So if that is true, Nancy, if that is true, and if the LA County coroner has those remains, which is where they would have wound up.
Now, is it possible that there were remains and you know, oh my goodness, shout out to everybody in the chat. Lord, shout out to BJ. Are we getting a BJ raid? You guys drop some hearts for BJ. BJ. Thank you so much, BJ. Guys, the coroner's office doesn't have to confirm anything with us, right? That surprise invasion. They don't have to confirm anything with us. Let me keep playing this, okay?
Guess what we've got here? We have got a source for DNA information.
You know, another thing, Joe Scott Morgan, two ideas. One, DNA comparison between the infant's remains that were reportedly found in the area, and whoever got rid of her body ain't that smart, because
no,
it's connected geographically to David's place. He lives in Hollywood Hills. Isn't that right, Israel? He lives in Hollywood Hills, and this car is found in Hollywood Hills.
There you go.
Yes, Nancy. There's reports that David actually.
So again, it's not confirmed that nothing has been confirmed. But if there is, they'll be able to connect that. They'll be able to know if she was pregnant. You know what I mean? I'm glad what did she say, BJ? Because this is what I'm talking about. I was just telling everybody, I was like, we get a lot of ish for being inaccurate, for spreading fake information. But the very people that worked in mainstream media are doing, and then they have more power and celebrity and push to push a lot of narratives. But we get the shitty end of the stick if we report on speculation or something that we heard or whatever. I'm not like, this is what I'm saying. I tell you guys, I when I got the email about, hey, they confirmed it. No, they haven't. And by the way, I mean, coroner's office doesn't have to talk to us. They don't have to tell us anything. The public, they'll do their thing, right? They don't have to confirm anything. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. But listen, where's a lot of this information about David coming from? The Reddit. Some of those Redditors were in the Discord. Do y'all realize how many members they have in that Reddit now? 250,000 members. 250,000 members. That's a lot of members for a Reddit, guys. I've never seen a Reddit this big. Did you guys check the numbers here? 250,000 members. Now, I don't know if that means that they're all active, but I bet you some of those members are social media people, mainstream media people, people that are just kind of keeping an eye out there. I just think it's funny that they're willing to call people out on social media, allegedly, right? But then they're using a lot of the information from the Reddit to put it on their, TMZ articles or whatever. Literally, that's what they're doing. I'm glad that Nancy corrected the title, but I don't think we have enough confirmation to say exactly that that this is what happened, or there is a baby or there isn't a baby. We just don't know.
Someone who knows a lot about investigations like this, because Matt Murphy is the former senior deputy DA in Orange County, California, and successfully prosecuted dozens of murder cases there. He's also the author of the Book of Murder, A Prosecutor's Journey Through Love and Death. Matt, I have been knocking on your door for days now, wanting to have this conversation with you, because I am surprised there hasn't been an arrest yet, and I wanted to know if you are.
Oh,
well, they're taking their time.
Are you guys surprised there hasn't been an arrest yet? What are they investigating? What are they looking for? Are they waiting for a toxicology report? What if there was a baby? Are they waiting for that? It's a lot of questions.
Ashley, which is exactly what they should be doing. And there's a lot to untangle here. And it's important to remember he's presumed innocent, right? And we know based on past history, there are juries in LA that will entertain absolutely insane defense theories. And so they're crossing their T's and dotting their I's, and they're being methodical, which is exactly what they should be doing. And I anticipate it's going to be a little while. Okay, so there are a multitude of potential crimes, as you just hit on. Number one, a 13-year-old there's a line under California law for any sexual contact. And again, it's speculative at this point. We don't know. The information hasn't come out.
And I'm sorry, it's interesting. Shout out to Kiva. She says people are reporting speculation. It's a lot.
But there's a big line between 13 and 14. 13 is 288A of the California Penal Code, which is essentially any lewd contact with a minor, 13 or under. So that's a big deal. 14 also, it's 288C. So depending on just the nature of the relationship itself, before we even get to the homicide, he's being investigated right now. And apparently they went in there. Some of the things that we're seeing coming out of that house were things like computers and tablets. And that's exactly what they should be looking for. And right now, probably as we speak, there is some.
And it does make you wonder, like, because the son, and again, the son reported they talked to the landlord. The landlord spoke with the, Josh Powell. Excuse me, not Josh Powell. Why am I thinking of Josh Powell? Josh Marshall. Josh Powell is a completely separate true crime case. Josh Marshall. And apparently when he asked to break the lease, they needed to take their stuff out there. David and Josh's items. Like I said, is it possible that Josh was staying here? Did Josh know? What were they harboring? That's the question. Were they harboring a runaway? Was this the location where Celeste was staying? Somebody was keeping her while she was on the run. Somebody was clothing her, feeding her, paying her phone bill, doing different things, right? Was she also staying here? Are they going to find items of Celeste here? Is this where they were streaming? When they were streamed? I mean, it's a lot of questions.
Overworked, underpaid forensic technologist who's going through cell phones and computers and looking for any evidence of that relationship. Another thing that's interesting here is, we've talked about this before, Ashley. We have the information that's come out from the LAPD, which has been minimal, right? It's been, and it should be minimal right now. They have to be very careful about the information they release. But this is a murder or potentially a murder in the modern era. And the reason I say potentially.
And did it happen here or did it happen somewhere else? Is that picture of her from the concert on the 23rd or 24th? I'm hearing two different dates. That's why I'm using two different dates. Is that her? Is that the last sighting of her being alive? Is that her? We don't know. But you know what? Let's pay attention here, because then you have the people that come over here on social media. You guys are spreading misinformation, but the TMZs, the Nancy Graces, and all these people who have the mainstream media backing are the ones taking reports from social media to their platforms to talk about it. Infant found in the trunk, in the frunk. Nancy put that out there. Okay, so I just want to make sure that we keep the same energy, right?
We don't have a cause of death yet. And I've had cases where we thought somebody was murdered and it turned out later it was an OD. We had one once where the person committed suicide, it turned out. So we don't know yet. Now, she was dismembered, certainly didn't do that to herself, but we don't know from the coroner's office yet exactly.
She was dismembered. Now, listen, remember what I told you guys yesterday? I've had at least 4 people, very reliable people, very smart people. I said, listen, I'm not buying the dismemberment. Even though there's been articles out there that say that law enforcement said head and torso in a bag. if you email the coroner's office, with shout out to Obsidian, Obsidian sent me a copy of that email. And the coroner's office did not say dismemberment. SF Investigates also has a theory. It says, I think that there's misinformation about that. But there's articles that say contrary. But you know who's going to get blamed for misinformation? Social media. Just letting y'all know.
Exactly if they have a cause of death, what it was, we don't know. And I'm going to suspect a dismembered, heavily decomposed body like that, it's going to be tough to tell. There are certain telltale signs depending on what was in there, what they actually recovered. But at this point, we don't know. But the really interesting part about this to me is the online sleuthing. And that there can be a lot of bad that goes along with that. But you know, some of this is really interesting here. You wrote a song called Romantic.
Wait. The Mansion? Hey, Rabbit, it was reprinted from the Mansion raids that there was an infant remains. Where did they... Guys, if there had been an excavation or any type of digging in a mansion, I'm telling you, don't you think that they would have had like people all over that property? There'd been live coverage on it. I don't know if that happened. See, I've heard this, and then I heard that the baby was found in the trunk. In the frunk. I don't know, man. What do y'all make of it? That's what I'm saying. What are the sources? We don't have a source. We're hearing different things. We want to know too. There'd be a lot if there was any kind of digging of that sort. I don't believe it. I don't. What mansion? This house right here? Lord have mercy. I'm telling y'all. You guys, make sure you ask them who sourced that. Just because a YouTube channel told you, hell, even if News Nation or whatever other source told you, doesn't mean it's true. A lot of people are just giving commentary and then it sounds like it's facts. You know? I don't know, man. I would just be mindful of that.
Homicide. Now, that was long before she was killed or died, but it's this is the online part is really interesting. All these videos that keep popping up where it shows this young woman that looks like her.
It is, and I got to be honest with you. I have so many questions for you, like millions, literally. I wanted to ask you a second ago about the lewd behavior or the lewd connection to a teenager who's 13 or 14. And I just want to get this on the record real quickly. Does that mean online behavior, or does that mean physical behavior?
That's a really good question. There are circumstances where online behavior alone between a 13 or under child and an adult can constitute a completed child molest. In other words, if they're sexting or somebody is directing a child
or sending pictures or telling the child where to go or, hey, come to my concert. I can't go. Yada, yada, yada. My mom won't let me go. I mean, I think so. If I find out that my minor children are even talking to some adult, okay, and the adult is well aware that I'm not okay with any of this, yeah, I would, you better believe I would be, cutting some heads. You better believe it.
To perform certain acts online. I've prosecuted those before where that counts as a completed child molest, even if they haven't met and even if there's no physical contact.
I forgot this guy is like he was a former Orange County prosecutor.
Interesting, because those tablets and those electronics and the forensic person you said is woefully underpaid. Hopefully, we'll be able to determine if that is an issue in this particular case, because there's a lot of speculation about it. And to that speculation, Matt, it is like you've seen the documentary "Don't F with Cats," where literally the online community solves a serial killer's crime. And in this particular case, there are so many theories that people are positing about what might have happened to Celeste. Maybe she was pregnant and it wasn't news that was well accepted. Maybe she OD'd. Maybe it's someone in the entourage. All these different theories. My question to you, as someone who's in the business of solving these crimes and prosecuting them, are the police doing the same thing that the online community is doing, running down all of these different theories?
Yes.
No, we don't have the same, we don't have social media doesn't have the same standards. David could have gotten rid of all of Celeste's clothes and stuff all on your other yeah, you're right. We don't know. What I do know about David is that he doesn't seem like he's very well put together. Maybe that's part of his artistry. Maybe that's part of the intrigue. I don't know. I'm not intrigued. I'm not impressed, but he just doesn't seem like he's a young artist. I'll give you that. But there's a lot to that. Even the artistry, right? Because with art, there is there's some, what's the saying? Art imitates life or life imitates art. One of the two, right? I definitely feel like there's something to be said about that. I feel like people can be inspired by art to do different things, to self-harm, to harm others, to do different things. This is why you have to be careful about what you ingest out there and what you put in your mind, your soul, and your body when it comes to these things, including music, right? What you read, what you do, and stuff like that. Now, sure, like I am one of those, I like all kinds of music. Oh, I'll listen to all kinds of music. I'll be like, oh, I remember this song, and do all kinds of things with that song or whatever. But I think I'm well enough in my mind, and some of you guys may be as well. You're like, okay, that's just a song. I didn't really mean what it said. I didn't really mean, this and that and the other when the song said this. Something to be thought about. Coco's mom, thank you so much for being a member for 4 months. I've enjoyed my time here. Thank you so much, Coco's mom. Shout out to Coco's mom in the chat. Now, this differences to everything, if that makes sense. Differences to everything. You said, I feel like there's too many questions that people are just dying for answers for. Someone else fill in the blanks before we know it. There's a game of telephone and results. Well, I mean, law enforcement is pretty tight-lipped right now, right? There isn't a whole lot that we know at this point. It's a lot of speculation, a lot of conversation. And for the record, a lot of the information that's coming down to the news nations, to the TMZs, to the CBS News, to all these outlets are from social media posts, are from Reddit posts. They're taking it, guys. They're taking it.
Yes, and these are good cops at LAPD. They were woefully underserved by the previous district attorney of LA County, and also keep in mind the LAPD is operating under woeful budget cuts by the city of Los Angeles. But I think in this one, given the high-profile nature, they're devoting the resources and they're doing it right. And the detectives, I've worked with this unit before, and they
got a lot of budget cuts. Listen, I'm not a fan of LAPD. You guys know, I'm not a fan of LAPD, but too much corruption. It's probably one of the biggest corrupt organizations is the LAPD. Yes, Rabbit. And people have claimed to be listening to certain songs while committing crimes and use that as a defense. Yeah, it's very true. Which kind of makes you wonder, like, one of the things, I'm going to tell you guys what I'm really thinking. And some of you guys will, I remember, this is just a conversation. It's a statement I'm about to make, okay? I remember when I was in my undergraduate, and my undergraduate is in criminology, right? So it's like the forensic science of crime, okay? And I remember I talked to this professor, and we were talking about the Satanic panic, right? And I remember looking at all these research studies about like convictions as a Satanic panic, and and back then, this was what, 2009, 2008, right? So like, as I'm just researching and doing different things, and I would think, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. What came out of the Satanic panic? Put it one in the chat if you know what the Satanic panic is. Y'all remember that, right? And how many like wrongful convictions came out of that? And so then it's weird because there's only certain things that stayed with me, like as an undergraduate and stuff like that, that I have to kind of go back there. And I remember like knowing what I felt like reading about maybe certain cases that were convicted under this, fear-based Satanic panic type of situation, right? I'm very careful about that because I feel like that there's something to be said about how fear can control a lot of us, our thoughts and our processes. Now, that doesn't mean that things don't exist out there. They're completely evil and demonic. Personally, I do feel like anything that's praising death and bringing coffins, I don't think that that's of light, if that makes sense. But that's just my opinion, right? So it's a weird conflict that I have in my mind, but y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I know I get very like philosophically sometimes, but I tell you guys this stuff because I remember reading about it and reading about all these wrongful convictions and listening to my professor who was like a former law enforcement, and he would tell me about like the tunnel vision and all this stuff. And so there is like a lot of psychology about, you know, who we are as humans and why we engage in the behavior that we engage in, the music that we listen to, what you were 10 years ago. Just think back and sit down and reflect on who you were 10 years ago versus where you are right now in life. And maybe the decisions that you've made that you wouldn't have made before, right? And then think about your childhood. Why did you listen to this kind of music if it was so bad? You know, just thinking back. So it's weird, but it's just something to reflect on. And this is kind of what it reminds me of. Is even though David's music is definitely not of mine, and I could tell that he definitely, you know, struggled with the alter ego and all that other stuff. To me, it's a lot. Okay, girl. To me, she's having fun. To me, it's a lot more internal conflict with himself that then he put that out there as music. And we got to see some of that. And as crazy and as gory as it is, definitely not of light. Definitely not something that I'm like, ugh, feel like maybe I need to see somebody about this. Just a thought. Professional. A professional. Because it would never be accepted in society for you to tap into your alter ego and go murder a bunch of people. Never. It's not okay. Lady Locks, thank you so much for the $10. The news pointing us to him. It's looking so clearly like he did it. It seems sus now because the whole internet is trying to take him down. No evidence has been found yet that he did her. I don't know. It's a good point. It's a lot of who said it? Circumstantial evidence. Scott Peterson was convicted on circumstantial evidence. Scott Peterson is fighting right now to have a new trial or to have his conviction overturned. There's a lot about the Scott Peterson and Lacey Peterson case. Some of y'all have said, nope, he did this and that and the other, but there's a lot of circumstantial evidence. Now, you have to kind of weigh this in, right? Because thank you so much again, Lady Hux, for the $10. I know I went on a tangent, my love. I tend to do that, y'all. I have ADHD and I'm not medicated. But do you want people, if we don't have enough information yet, this guy he hasn't been formally charged. Let's be very real. He'll have his day in court, but he has not been formally charged. But a lot of the circumstantial things out there, the social media stuff, it's not looking good. It just isn't. And that's just being a realist, right? I would suggest everybody as a parent, if you're here, because I got kids, you go in and check out your kids' social media and evaluate what they're listening to. Is this something that I really want you listening to? Oh my goodness. Here, girl. Thank you. Is this something that I really want you listening to? Does this make sense? I don't know. Okay, let me hit play on this.
These are hard-hitting, no-nonsense women and men at the LAPD who know what they're doing. So they're doing all of that stuff. They're going through the computers. They have forensically worked up that house, probably top to bottom. They're looking for her DNA. They're looking on any instruments that may have been used to dismember her. I've already seen some of the conspiracy theories come out, and one of the questions I saw is, who would be stupid enough to put the dead body in the trunk of their own car? And the answer to that is most murderers. Most people, especially when they kill for the first time, make a million mistakes. And this would be a really bad one. Another thing that's interesting is I'm personally curious about, if the car was parked, and it was apparently 1 minute away from the home there that we're seeing. It was not taken far away. We heard about all these vandalism cases against Teslas in the recent news. With all the cameras that are on Teslas, I'm very curious to see if there's an actual video on the data recorder of that car that shows who the driver was.
If he paid for the service, I believe they have to pay for the service. Now, that's right. ADHD and not medicated. He said right here, if this was a dismemberment, okay? If it was, there's going to be a lot of evidence. Yeah, you guys, there really is. There's going to be a lot of, there's no way to completely dismember somebody without not leaving any kind of DNA with the person that's actually doing it. It's if that's what happened, we don't know. I find it very interesting that if this is why I kind of push back on the dismemberment too, just a little bit, because I feel like then DNA would be kind of all over the place. We would have a location. Where did this happen? A bit like, did this happen in this house? Really? Because that would be quite the crime scene. He is not, to me, if he just doesn't seem like he's a very this wouldn't be a, how do I say this? If this was a premeditated murder, what an idiot. Because you put the body, somebody else must have helped. You put the body in the Tesla that's registered to you. You had people driving it around. That's what I'm thinking. It doesn't make sense. But if it wasn't him, did he order somebody to do it? Potentially.
That's something that's going to be interesting. But I think that what's happening in addition to the forensic stuff right now is they are doing gumshoe police work, and they are interviewing every single person they can find that was in his orbit, that knew about their relationship, what the circumstances were, if any. And it certainly sounds, I mean, there's a lot of circumstantial evidence right now indicating that there had been some sort of close relationship between them, perhaps romantic. It certainly looks that way. But right now, again, the LAPD is putting it together, and we're going to see a lot of these pieces probably fit together here pretty soon.
I have 20 seconds, but I've got to get you on the record here. If they can't come up.
Hold up. This is a good point. Maybe it wasn't premeditated. Maybe it was a crime of passion. Maybe this is just a maybe. Again, there's just so much speculation. Okay, girl, so much speculation. What if she overdosed? What if she, and then they panic and they didn't know what to do. He's going on tour, and then they decided to maybe, keep the body somewhere, dismember it or not. I'm not really sure. There's a lot. We have no answers, guys, no answers. But it's interesting because even though we have no answers, the internet, the Reddits and the Discords, they keep dropping information.
With the cause of death. Is that brutal for this case?
No, you can still prosecute. If you can certainly prosecute. I mean, I did 5 no body cases where we had no exact cause of death either. So you can certainly do it. But it does throw a wrinkle in there. If you've just got a decomposed, torso, or depending on what's available, what I would be asking if I was them is the hyoid bone. That's a bone in the neck that's consistent with strangulation. That's something that doesn't go away with decomposition. I'm sure they're looking at that. If it's true that her head was recovered, they can find what's called petechial hemorrhaging in her eyes, indicating strangulation. Bones will leave marks concerning stabbing. So the forensic pathology here is going to be very interesting. And again, the coroners in LA County are the real deal. They know what they're doing. So we'll have to see.
And let's hope, let's hope that they do all.
Hold up. And this is a good question. Amber, y'all notice this? Thank you for saying this, okay? Thank you for saying this. Why haven't her friends spoken out yet? Why haven't her friends spoken out? I have yet to hear a friend speak out. Put in one in the chat if the friend has spoken out. Anybody here, a friend? No? I haven't heard a friend yet. Him, I can understand David not speaking out. But I have not heard a friend. I have not heard a girlfriend. So to me, this tells me, Carrie, you got to let the mods handle it. You can also block the person, okay? Let the mods handle the blocking, okay? If you guys don't like somebody's opinion, y'all know you can block the person, right? You don't have to wait for a mod. You can actually, there's 3 dots to the person's name, and you can block them. All right, this is what we do here. Allow the mods to determine who's going to get blocked. All the friends have been people online. All the friends have been people online. Interesting. I have the Gus guy. Somebody sent me some information on the Gus guy too. It's crazy. You said friends would get attacked. Was she isolated? She was on the run. That's why I wonder if she didn't really have any friends, because she was isolated, because she was groomed, because she was so into this quote unquote relationship. Very likely that she was so isolated. Yeah, very true.
Why now? By someone who knows a lot about investigations like this, because Matt Murphy is the former senior deputy DA in Orange County, California, and successfully prosecuted dozens of murder cases there. He's also the author of the Book of Murder, A Prosecutor's Journey Through Love and Death. Matt, I have been knocking on your door for days now, wanting to have this conversation with you, because I am surprised there hasn't been.
And that is a good question. Why wasn't she found before she died? Or was she? What encounters did she have with adults? If she was seen on that August 23rd or 24th video, you guys, she encountered adults. She encountered people. People knew. How old is David's brother? Is he an adult too? What about people in David's corner? Did they know how old she was too? People didn't care. She was just a runaway. They didn't give an ish. You're absolutely right. Constance, thank you so much for being a member for 4 months. Thank you. Thank you. And Soul, thank you so much for renewing your membership. Shout out to you, love. Thank you. Isolation is a tactic. Isolation is a tactic of grooming too. Turn the kid against their parents. That's what happened in the Alicia Navarro case. Y'all remember? She was 14 when she was groomed. She jumped over the fence to be with this old ass man who took her several states. She was in Arizona. Then 4 years later, she turns up at a Montana police station. Can you take me off of the missing person report? I want to get a driver's license. He got convicted just recently. Crazy.
An arrest yet, and I wanted to know if you are.
Well, they're taking their time, Ashley, which is exactly what they should be doing. And there's a lot to untangle here. And it's important to remember he's presumed innocent, right? And we know.
Hold up. I think we saw this done. This was like maybe the longer version of it. Anyways, so I do have to wonder, like, we keeping her isolated, grooming her. Yeah, we did. I just changed it, Lizzie. Thank you. Grooming her, keeping her isolated. I'm your only friend. She can't tell her girlfriends about having a boyfriend, right? The only people that they're communicating with are strangers on Discord, some of which are what? Probably underage themselves. This is quite an interesting generation, you guys, because we've gone to this point where it's like having human contact with each other. Like, if you like, I have a lot of friends on YouTube, but they're YouTube friends. I don't personally know them. I've never gone to lunch with them, but we've been very cordial. And some of us have known each other for a couple years. There are some people that I respect their craft, the things that they do. There are some people on YouTube that I love and respect, but I've never met them. And the way I see it is that if we were to meet, we would probably get along, but I don't know everybody. But this is a different generation, right? A younger generation where it's like, maybe they don't need to meet and they could, hang out, send money to each other, spend hours online, parasocial relationships.
Purpose Legal Minds, I know. Sarah Azari is a criminal defense attorney, a News Nation legal analyst, and host of News Nation's YouTube show, Serving Justice. What are his lawyers telling him, Sarah, right now?
Ashley, I think at this point, it's more about gathering information from the client. I know that some of his devices were taken. You just had a conversation with Matt Murphy. And
so if they were to defend David, keep that in mind. How would that look like? How is David walking around like it's okay? Where is David? I heard that he left that property. Well, he left that property. He broke that lease. But this was so-called brother really his blood brother? We don't know, because in the documentary, it was his mother, father, and him and little sis. That's why I was like, he has a brother? Because I saw a little bit of that documentary that he did. I think it's in his channel or whatever. I saw that. You're absolutely right. As a wag stupid. The problem with internet sleuths in their mind operates off logical fallacies, and critical thinking skills are lacking big time. Yeah. I've seen it both ways. I can't say that. I'm not going to speak for everybody. I do feel like there are times where the sleuths will do the most, where they shouldn't really be doing the most. But I also feel like there's been times where they've been on it. Does that make sense? You can't, how do I say this? Like, my only fear is that we're going to get to a point where if we're looking at the sleuths in such a bad way, we're going to get to a point where people aren't going to want to report things, right? Or people don't feel like they have a space to do it, if that makes sense. Like, we're silencing freedom of, we've already silenced so much speech in the last, couple of weeks. In the last, we have to be very careful. Now, I'm not for misinformation. Y'all know that. And I do feel like there's a level of responsibility that you have to have with that. But you have to give credit where credit is due to a certain degree. Like Ashley Banfield just mentioned, don't F with cats. That was solved directly by sleuths. Who in their right mind what agency was going to take the time to go into specifics about, this picture and that picture looks like this? And the sleuths don't even get paid that way. They're not even taking up the resources of law enforcement. So it's like, I get both sides of the argument, but sometimes I feel like then you have the mainstream media that take from the sleuths and don't credit the sleuths. Does that make sense? Just my thought. Now, that being said, I'm not for people ruining other people's lives. Like, we got to be careful. Okay. And if you get it wrong, you get it wrong. You do. Rabs, when hit the hype button after, does it help you? Yeah, I don't even know what it does. Lady Pamela, thank you so much for being a member for 21 months. I heard that y'all hype my video up. Hype it up. Okay. Get it hypey. That's what I'm going to say. But I don't know what it does. Apparently it gets you on some kind of list. But I don't know. I don't know if it does or if it doesn't help, because they haven't really told me if it does.
I would want to know what's on there. What could possibly the LAPD be investigating? Because, as you know, at this early stage, there's no discovery. The LAPD doesn't give us much information. And I think Matt gave LAPD and the coroner's office way too much credit than is due. I've worked with the LAPD for 25 years, and I can tell you there's a lot of flaws in some of these investigations, for good or bad, and even the coroner's office. I've had them do autopsies on the wrong body, give me reports for the wrong body. So hopefully this is being done properly, but I wouldn't bank on it.
Let me ask you to put on your defense hat, and you're retained as one of David's attorneys. Are you advising him to cooperate with the police? Are you advising him to stop all meetings and communications altogether? What do you say?
Well, it's interesting because we've heard that he's cooperating with LAPD.
What does it mean to cooperate with LAPD? He's being questioned? A lot of questions about the way in which he's cooperating.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what that means. Cooperating through his lawyers, that's one thing. But I certainly would not have him sit there with case detectives and answer questions. He certainly, even though we don't know the evidence or the extent of the evidence, he certainly carries some exposure here. He's not a suspect, but he's being looked at. He's a person of interest. So my concern.
By the way, he does have an attorney, and I need to pull the attorney's name. David does have an attorney. And it was released just recently. Hold up. David, I felt like I wrote it down somewhere and I lost the name. Attorney. Hold up. Not now. It's trying to help me find an attorney. And James just gifted 10 membership. Guys, put some hearts in the chat, please. And thank you if you've been gifted. Thank you, James. Thank you.
Concern would be, there's no good that's going to come out of putting my client, in front of the LAPD to answer their questions, fill in the blanks. So I don't know what cooperation means. Is it that the lawyers are speaking to detectives? I certainly would keep it minimal. And you brought up another good point, Ashley, about not saying anything in media. When you have a celebrity client, you are defending them in the court of public opinion, because the minute their name comes up in a situation like this, their career is pretty much over, whether or not they're eventually charged. You're also defending the charges, obviously, legally. But here my concern is the defendant should not be saying anything. The potential defendant should not be saying a word. So as much as we want to hear from a higher profile person, at least denying having anything to do with this, there's also the concern of, what they might say that could be used against them. I think if there's a statement made, it should come from his lawyers, and it should be very generic.
Yeah, because honestly,
hold up, y'all.
What else is playing all over the news and all over the internet? What we're talking about, and it isn't good. It sounds terrible. All of the speculation, everybody who's trying to solve the crime, theorize what happened to Celeste. Was she pregnant? Was it an overdose? Was it a murder? Was it an accident? All
wait a
these
minute.
Things are just being, batted about like,
Well, wait a minute, Ashley, because you guys are doing that too, right? Like, wait a minute. See what I'm saying? We always get blamed for stuff when they're the ones doing it too. Sorry, y'all. I got to change the battery on my camera because my camera just died. Did she just really say that? Hold up. Let me go back a little bit. This is why I struggle. Like, I really struggle with this because it's like we get blamed for a lot of stuff, but then aren't they the ones doing it? I don't get it. Wait a minute. Hold up, y'all. I'm trying to put the battery on my camera, y'all. That's why we get, listen, at least own it. Aren't they platforming the same thing? Get out of here. The news wants to be the top voice. Right. Thank you for saying this. They want to be the top voice of the story, but they come in late. But aren't they the ones also doing it too? Come on, camera. Sorry, I'm trying to hook the battery. It kind of heated up a little bit. Let me play this again. Because I swear, maybe my ears deceive me. Because, sometimes I hear things, because I'm not medicated. So I do wonder about this.
The crime, theorize what happened to Celeste. Was she pregnant? Was it an overdose? Was it a murder? Was it an accident? All these things are just being, batted about like.
Wait. But wait.
Concern of, what they might say that could be used against them. I think if there's a statement made, it should come from his lawyers and it should be very generic.
Yeah, because honestly, what else is playing all over the news and all over the internet? What we're talking about, and it isn't good. It sounds terrible. All of the speculation, everybody who's trying to solve the crime, theorize what happened to Celeste. Was she pregnant? Was it an overdose? Was it a murder? Was it an accident? All these things are just being, batted about like, Pong in the 80s. So
what?
If you're all.
What do you mean? Oh, come on. This is what I'm talking about. Don't we always get blamed for stuff? But they're the ones doing it. And thank you, Coco's mom, for the $10. Just my opinion as a parent. I would have been 24/7 at the police station if she were my child, and would have other family camped out at David's house. But that's just me. I completely understand Coco's mom, like, especially I get it because she's a minor and he's old. He's older. If they knew, how much did the family really know about this guy? They had to have known if she was asking permission to go to concerts and they were like, no, you can't go. They knew. I'm just laughing at Banfield, but thank you so much, Coco's mom, for this $10. I really do appreciate you, my love. Thank you. I don't think that would be smart. Why hasn't David reached out to the family to show condolences? The same reason he's not making a statement right now. It wouldn't be smart. It wouldn't be smart to do that. Do we know if she was allowed to date? Being at that age, did parents drop her off? That's a great question. Now, listen. What's up with your picture? You got to go put that back. So, do we know if she was allowed to date? Even if she was allowed to date, she would be okay dating an older guy, a 20-year-old. Even if she was allowed, she could have been allowed to date a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old, somebody her age. But even if she was, why would that? I don't know, man. Your comment is given interesting, especially with the little picture there. I'm just saying.
So advising him at this point, and there is the real concern that there is a wrongful death, maybe even a murder, certainly a dismemberment, and an indignation offered to human corpse. There's all sorts of wording for those charges. Right. Are you focusing on that right away, or are you simultaneously and equally as aggressively focusing on, you got some problems because this girl was maybe 11 when you met? How are you preparing this client for the reality that is what could be the worst thing he's facing?
Preparing the client as client management, and we do that from the get-go, but the idea of trying to formulate a defense or trying to figure out what charges might be if and when they come is very difficult at this stage.
Thank you for saying this. If y'all want to support PDF files, that's on you. There is no excuse for something like this, honestly. Like, I'm sorry, that question that the person asked kind of tripped me out a little bit. Why am I checking Discord right now? What's the deal? Did you tag me or what? Because when y'all tell me check Discord, I like, for what? What happened in her home? She says she had a troubled home. Right? There's that. It's on your heart, boo. It's on my heart. This just gives me Dexter vibes, and I can't, says Miss Toby, right? Okay, thank you. Oh, Storm, you could have put that in the chat. So the attorney is Blair Burke. Yes. I heard that was the attorney too. Thank you. You could just put it in the chat. You said mom knew a detective will share information with the family, especially if they're involved in the search and doing your own investigation. If they don't ask, they won't get answers. But the thing is that he was tied to Hollywood, right? He has a lot of resources and clearly a lot of money if he was quote unquote paying off these kids, right? But people knew. That's what I'm trying to say is people knew that this shit was going on and nobody did anything. I did a video about this yesterday too. I was like, hold up, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Yesterday, this young man right here, I'm so glad. When I saw this yesterday, it had less than 3,000 views. It is now at 149,000 views. I'm so glad people saw this. This young man, I did a video about it yesterday. This young man right here, his name is Ethan. Look at the date of this. December 14th of 2024, y'all. December 14th of 2024. He literally called this out a year ago. Well, just about a year. He called this out.
Popular artist got caught giving thousands of dollars to kids. Now, why did he do this? To hide his little secret of him dating a minor. Yup.
A popular artist. He said it. They were dating. He was dating minors. Now, he said S. Was there more than one minor? Do we only know? How do we know there's any other ones? We only know of Celeste. How do we know? And let me tell you, a runaway is a perfect victim for somebody that grooms a child. A runaway is a perfect victim. Let me repeat that again for the defenders of this guy. A runaway is a perfect victim. Okay? A runaway is they're disconnected from their family. There's family conflict, very likely. Okay? Easy to turn the runaway against their family. Look, they don't love you. They don't buy you the things that you want. They don't like you. Look, I'm here for you. Tell me everything that you want. I'll get it for you. A runaway, it's almost, thank you for saying this, it's almost always the runaways. A runaway is a perfect victim for a groomer, for an SAer, for a trafficker. They're perfect victims because they're vulnerable based on the environments that they're living through at that moment and the people that they're talking to. I hate to put it that way, y'all, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Easy. Nobody understands me. Nobody understands it. Guys, I mean, if you've ever been through that, teenage time in your life where you literally felt like nobody understood you, nobody got you, and you're all in yourself, you're a target. You're a target. I know I was. I know a lot of y'all could probably relate to this, where you were easy to be targeted. Celeste is no different. And Celeste is one of many kids, many girls that are in situations just like that. And typically the peer group, they know what's going on. What did the teachers say? The teachers, the administrators are in the thick of it. They know what's going on. It was interesting. Shout out to BJ. She was playing that video over and over. Y'all know why I was playing that video over and over and over? Because first of all, he didn't know he was being recorded. People say, oh my gosh, so cute. Sorry, baby money's showing me something. People will tell you the things that, like when you're being recorded, you're being yourself. You said it's not a face. It's not a face, Rabbit. What's not a face? When you are in that age, you're very vulnerable, right? For me, I'm going to say for me, I went through a phase. Some of you guys might have gone through a phase where you were very vulnerable and an easy target. I can't say I'm the same anymore. Now, does it scare me for my kids? Yes, it does, because changes in your body, hormones, all kinds of things. I used to write a lot. I have, y'all, like I have put a one in the chat if anybody used to write things. I used to draw and write things. It was a form of expression. I have a diary when I was 15 years old. And I look at that and I look at like, oh my God, I was so lost and all these feelings that I was going through. And I was vulnerable, right? and not having any friends at that time and just kind of being on your own and yourself. So yeah, she was vulnerable and I was vulnerable. And so for me, it was a phase that I went through, but I had to grow out of it, right? I went through what I had to go through. But there's a lot of girls out there like Celeste that don't really have the support system, if you know what I mean, at all. They don't. No, I'm scared. I was scared if my parents would read my diary, says Sweet Potato. Yeah, I was scared about that too. That's why I carry that thing everywhere that I went. I never left it home because I had those kinds of parents. But where I was going with this is that typically you have a peer group that knows what's going on. This is a young guy right here. I don't know how old he is. I'm assuming he's maybe around David's age, if not younger. He knew what was going on. He put it out here. There's many TikTokers that put these things out here, and nobody bat an eye. Nobody said, "Oh shit, let me go check on this. Let me go call law enforcement. Have they looked into this?" It's a lot of questions. Nobody looks into this. Nobody cares.
Who knows if he's still dating this minor? And people coming, proof. Why the fuck else would he randomly go unnoticed, no one knows about this, to meet kids, bring them canes, give them thousands of dollars?
To meet kids, bring them canes. The Canes is like the restaurant people go to all the time, especially the young kids. Something about Canes. Cane sauce, cane this.
Why else would he do that? Why else would any celebrity do that? You know exactly why. And I'm not just guessing here. This is a picture from someone who knew the girl, and they told me this story. Popular artist got caught.
This picture right here. Who is this girl right here? Did we figure this out? This guy right here. I know somebody who did a deep dive on this guy and let me know who he was. Okay. Give me 1 second. Thank you, Storm. I saw your message on Discord. Yeah, maybe I didn't see the name, but thank you. It's a lot of people in the chat. So this picture right here. How old is this picture? Do we know the where this picture came from? Did we figure this out? It's new in New York. Cane's is like the thing. Cane's is like Taco Bell. To Cane's, when I was younger, Cane's would be like the equivalent of Taco Bell. As gross as Taco Bell is, people did go to Taco Bell a lot because like where I went to high school, the Taco Bell was right there and everybody was at the Taco Bell. People would meet up at the Taco Bell. Across the street was a 7-Eleven. You know, it was like the place, right? It is strange. You said Taco Bell without the runs. You know, when you're younger, you can handle it. I'm just saying. Now that I'm older, I can't handle it anymore. But it's a different kind of, you know, stomach. Five Guys. But you say you hung out at Sonic's? Lord have mercy. Okay. How old is this picture? Did we figure this out? Y'all remember when we were live? This was like last week. We were live and we were talking about this. People were saying, well, this is David giving money. And I was like, how do we know? How do we know that this is David? I had a lot of questions. Where did this picture come from? Somebody gave this picture. This picture first came on Reddit, and I'm going to die on this hill before, like, because I saw it when we were live. This picture was on Reddit before it made it to TMZ. Right? And it said on the TMZ caption, David giving money to young kids to silence them or something like that. This picture, how old is this picture? How old is this picture? We don't know. So you mean to tell me that this picture has been around? He's with minors giving money, and we're just now finding about it after a body of a child has been found in the front of his car? And thank you. That's the question. Who took this picture? Who knows who took this picture? Where did this picture come from? Did he know that a picture was being taken? It was found on Reddit first. This is why I'm like, when Ashley Banfield, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to say, when she says, we're over here coming up with stories, Miss Ma'am, what do you mean? Reddit is putting it out there. TMZ is taking it, and then you guys are reporting it. So yeah, like I'm just like, this is why we get a lot of shit on social media, but y'all are putting this out here. But the biggest problem that I have, like I said, nobody had really seen this video yesterday. It was only like at 4,000 or 3,000 views. I put it out yesterday and then it start everybody. Now it's at what, 140, almost 150,000 views on TikTok.
Artist got caught giving
Crazy.
thousands of dollars to kids. Now, why did he do this? To hide his little secret of him dating a minor. Yup. Who knows if he's still dating this minor? And people commenting, proof. Why the fuck else would he randomly go unnoticed, no one knows about this, to meet kids, bring them canes, give them thousands of dollars? Why else would he do that? Why else would any celebrity do that? You know exactly why. And I'm not just guessing here. This is a picture from someone who knew the girl.
So here's the deal. When I first posted this, it literally had like 20 comments. It's at 591 comments, you guys. I can't even go to the first comment that I read. I read the first comment when I did the video. And somebody said in there, bro, why are you trying to shit on somebody that's trying to help people? And Ethan is telling them, what do you mean? He's talking to minors. And the comment is a year old. And the comment was a year old. A year old. It's at 500. I can't even go to the first comment. He posted this December 2024. And so what did he do? He's like, oh, I said something. I'm going to post this on my TikTok. I'm going to pin it. It was already posted. I'm going to pin it. And he pinned it. And immediately, there it is. We don't know. People knew. Yes, there's a kid that his name is Gus. I don't know if he was an adult when he passed away. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I did see a obituary, and I believe I don't know if he's in relation to Celeste, but yeah, look like exchanging something. If you're paying someone to shut up, why would you? At the first place, someone else. Well, they knew it. They knew it. He said, this young man is not afraid to talk. He spoke out in 2024. The comment that I read, the very first comment, it's at 591 comments now. The first comment said, bro, why are you shitting on David for helping people out? And then he responds, Ethan said, yo, he's talking to minors. And this was in December of 2024. So people were giving him shit for calling it out in 2024. And then he responds, and look at this. All of this just kind of writes itself, you guys. It really does, if you think about it. Why is David so quiet? I'm just letting y'all know that I think it makes sense why he would be quiet, just being honest. I don't think it's wise for him to speak, but News Nation did a little segment on it. Let's talk about it.
One of the nation's premier experts in advertising, navigating and surviving PR disasters. Andrew White is a celebrity publicist and crisis manager who served
PR disasters. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it is for him.
As Bill Cosby's spokesman during Cosby's prosecution for sexual assault. Andrew, it's great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being on. It's been more than 2 weeks. Yeah, this is such a conundrum, right? It's been more than 2 weeks since Celeste's body was found in David's trunk, and David has been absolutely radio silent. Do you think that's a good strategy to employ, staying completely silent while the world sort of blows up around him?
Look, as you stated,
I do wonder how much the label knew. If Josh Marshall rented that house, he was also vacating his items out of there, right? The house was under his name. I do have to wonder about it, you know? I do wonder how much Interscope hasn't given a statement. Josh Marshall hasn't given us. Josh Marshall put his profile on private, y'all. I went looking, okay, as a sleuth. I went looking. I'm like, let me pull some. He's like, no, private. You got to request to see my profile.
Constitutional rights says that we have the right to remain silent. However, we have the court of public opinion. I don't think it's a good. I don't think it's good advice, good direction. I think it's damning. Look, acknowledging the serious allegations of this crime and the gravity shows maturity and shows that you have compassion. A simple statement saying, "I understand the gravity of these claims and the pain that they can cause all involved. Out of respect for that and for the integrity of any process that might follow, I will not be commenting any further." Something simple, and offering and asking for the prayers, the compassion, and the understanding as I go through this process. I think to protect the brand, there's a lot of money invested in his short career.
Oh,
the record labels have put a
very short career. I will say that. Like, this has given me Kaylin K.R. Walker, very short career. Kaylin K.R. Walker, the serial artist who was convicted, who's trying to act like he's like the new Tory Lanez. Yeah, that character. Matter of fact, I think he's got a hearing this week too. It was very short, and he did a lot of crimes. And yeah, I would say it's probably the same.
A lot of money behind him with tours, with recording studio time. They're not going to recoup that money back because right now it does not look good for him. And right now he's allowing the jury pool, if he's ever charged, to be tainted. And as Malcolm X once said, the media is the most powerful entity in the world. It has the ability to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent, and that's power. And he needs to use the media to his advantage.
You know, Sarah Azari mentioned just before you came on the air that he should definitely not be talking, but that his representatives should be saying something. Are you surprised?
I'm not familiar with that attorney. I'm going to try to pull the information on the attorney. Who else has he represented? Because I heard he's represented other celebrities. That's a great question.
That he hasn't had a team out there saying exactly what you just mentioned. This is just so sad for the family, and I have nothing to do with this. I am not the person you're looking for. Just anything other than the wild speculation that's been filling the vacuum in his silence.
Well, first and foremost, he's an up-and-coming star. Yes, he's a platinum-selling artist, but does he have the financial resources to get the attorney that he needs? And if he's talking to lawyers, which I think he is, he's lawyered up, and I'm pretty sure the record labels are trying to help him through that process to protect their investment. However, someone should have said something. His lawyers could have come out and said, look, our client remains... Why
hasn't the lawyer made a statement? Now, I'm not seeing anything. I've heard articles that blame Burke. Is it Burke? Burke. And by the way, like, I'm struggling even finding an actual connection. It says that as of September 2024, Blame Burke has been linked to the singer David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, through the homicide investigation of a teenager. But he hasn't given any, like, statements where I'm like, don't you want to do that? At least not David per se, but like through his lawyer. Like, they're working with law enforcement, active investigation, nothing. Because at the end of the day, even if David's defense is, I didn't know her, which would be crazy, but let's just say that that's his defense. The young girl, the child was found in your car. So at the very least saying, we're working with law enforcement, or maybe they're not, I don't know. And we're cooperating, something to that effect. Because as far as PR goes, which I'm like, this is a schmurder. I don't give an F about PR at this point. We don't care. We want justice for this little girl. That's what we want.
His integrity. He maintains his innocence, and he's praying that this investigation is done, and he's participating in the investigation. Something should have been said, and I think it's not a benefit to him and his career. We have seen what has happened to artists like R. Kelly, Sean Combs, now Mr. Burke, and we have seen where lyrics have been used as evidence to bring charges against people like rappers like Young Thug.
And like I said, there's legislation about protection about using lyrics to convict somebody. And I forget what law. I feel like I did a video on this. Was it on Tiny and T.I. and T.I. Clifford Harris? I feel like there might be a video that I did, y'all. I've done 2.5K videos. I don't even remember the videos that I've done anymore. But there is legislation about something like this and protection for artists about having their okay, my honey, having their lyrics used against them for criminal cases.
So making a song called Romantic Homicide, and in the song you're talking about dismembering bodies, that's very concerning. I understand that he had a tattoo, and the young lady, Miss Hernandez, had a shift tattoo on the right index finger. Now, Rihanna made that tattoo famous and other celebrities wear it, but the fact that the mother has stated that she was in a relationship with a man named David, it does not look good. And the fact that David, Mr. Burke, has scrubbed his social media of videos and pictures of Miss Hernandez doesn't look
Yes, thank you for saying this. Yes, so where's my girl? Hold up. Where's Rando girl? Rando gal. I'm like, where's my girl? Rando gal. I was gonna say, where's my gal? So lyrics can't be interpreted as a confession. That's correct. There is, I'm looking at this legislation right now. The bill limits the admissibility of evidence of a defendant's creative or artistic expression against the defendant in a federal, criminal, or civil case. The term creative or artistic expression means the expression or application of creativity or imagination in the production of arrangement of form, sound, words, movements, or symbols, including music, dance, performance arts, visual poetry, literature, film, and other objects of media. So there's protection for artists out there that basically allows people not to interpret their lyrics as a confessional, which is crazy because I'm like, but okay, I don't know.
good. So right now, remaining silent is not a good action and a good cause of action if you're trying to protect your brand right now. But you can't focus on the brand. You got to focus on your life, liberty, and your pursuit of happiness, because when you're locked up, you can't make any money.
Andrew, I've only got 20 seconds left. Can you help me out here? If he does not end up charged in all of this and he stayed quiet throughout, what is the strategy for people like you to help him? What do you do to try to recover whatever it is that's left that the internet didn't tear to shreds in the speculation, again, because of his absence of any comment?
I still, come on. What did we do? We tried, we tore things to shreds. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh my goodness, y'all. What did we do? How? I don't know, man. Yes. K-Dub says, thank you so much for the $5. This is the second time we've seen videos of David's little brother kicking it with Celeste. I bet little buddy knows everything. K-Dub, it's not a blood brother though, right? I don't believe it's in relation. It's just somebody that he calls a brother. Oh, man. But thank you so much, K-Dub, for this $5. What do y'all think? You said I said, well, I think we need to maybe do a family tree on this situation to get more information on this. Oh shit. What is this? Hold up. Let me see what this is. Investigation. Give me 1 second. What is this? I think I found something. Hold up. Okay. Celeste Rivas' family hasn't made a statement directly. Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body returned to family weeks after. We know this. Body was badly decomposed. We know this. I'm looking because there's like more articles that are coming out as we speak. Let me pull something real quick while we play this.
Appearances and uniting with people who have been victims of violence, standing with family members who have been victims of violence. Also making an effort to show that you're a decent citizen, trying to humanize himself and humanize all the people around him, especially young people who listen to this music.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.
All right. Sorry, y'all. He always says that. This is interesting. This is interesting. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this real quick. Shout out to SF. Y'all know we love SF Investigates over here, man. He's always on the money when it comes to this. Look at what he just posted. Clearly, people close to David, like his manager, Josh Marshall, are likely trying to distance himself not only from the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, but also from the very public grooming and predatory behavior. Those who enabled this criminal activity should be charged alongside. Yes, I agree. Alongside David, I've spoken to someone who notified Josh Marshall's camp back in 2024 that Celeste was considered a missing person immediately after Celeste returned home, only to run away again. Josh, David's manager, cannot claim he wasn't aware that Celeste was underage runaway. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Thank you, Coco's mom. He said, I'm crazy, so his money means nothing to me. Always watch out for the crazy moms. Yeah. Why did he want to move right? He was like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I got to get out of here. And let me tell you, SF Investigates is somebody that's like on the field, talking to people. He will investigate. Trust me when I say he's probably one of the few people that I trust with my personal information. I'm just saying. Okay, y'all need to check him out on Twitter because he's always on point on these cases. So I am speechless, y'all. He says he spoke to somebody. I've spoke to someone who notified Josh Marshall's camp back in 2024. Like, this is what I'm saying. In 2024, you had that young Ethan guy who did that TikTok video. Didn't have a lot of views. What did he do? He pinned it. Yesterday, when I did the video, it had less than 3,000 views. Now it's over 150,000. Now people got something to say about the fact that nobody paid attention. And those that willfully ignored it said what? Oh, he's just helping people out by giving money. He was silencing people. That's what's being said, allegedly. I've spoke to someone who notified Josh Marshall's camp back in 2024 that Celeste was considered a missing person immediately after Celeste returned home, only to run away again. Josh, David's manager, cannot claim he wasn't aware that Celeste was an underage runaway. Literally, I'm just like, wow, let me repost this. This is crazy. Lauren Collins, I think she gave commentary with News Nation. She said the LA Medical Examiners has look at this. I'm telling you, look at this. The LA Medical Examiner's Office made no mention of Celeste Rivas being dismembered in a statement they sent to SF Investigates. They sent a statement to somebody else that I know. Shout out to Obsidian from, True Crime Strategic Eyes. TMZ originally reported this through the LAPD headquarters. The question we all have been asking, is David really dumb enough to murder a minor, leave the body in his own car, and then go on tour? The OD theory is weighing on me lately. It would make more sense that he panicked as he was with a minor and didn't want to call the police if she did OD in his presence, right? People are calling into question the dismemberment. Even though there's articles out there where officers have talked to people, people are calling into question the dismemberment, y'all. And I think it's a rightful call out, honestly. I just think I don't know if who would be dumb enough. That's why I said maybe it was a crime of passion. Maybe if it was premeditated crime, whatever it may be, who dismembers a body, puts it in the register, drives around with the car's registered to him, then goes on tour. Yes, they did, because other sources repeated it. And then guess what? You know who's going to get shitted on? The social media people. Oh, well, you guys put that out there that you guys had been, that she was dismembered. We did. We reported what you guys reported out there. What are you talking about? And why put the, and this is a good point. Now, hold up, because I don't like to be gaslit, but I'm going to tell you what happened here. Shout out to the people. BJ was the one that tagged me on this, and she started a thread and people were tagging me, right? Hold up. Who is it? Was it this one? No, not this one. Here it is. Shout out to Orange Dreamsicle. She tagged me on here. Rivas remains described by authorities as a head and torso found inside a bag were discovered in the trunk of a Tesla impounded at Hollywood Tow on September 8th. This was KTLA.com. Did the officer say something to media and then they repeated it? And here's the other piece of information, y'all. This is why Mr. Josh Powell here. I was looking at Josh. He immediately put his shit on private, y'all. And he's a very public person. He's got articles out there about him. He put his stuff on private. Now, I got a very interesting Facebook message yesterday. Somebody said, you need to look at their management. You need, like, it goes deep with the Interscope and all these other people. Yes, they did. And what was she wearing on the 23rd or 24th? Tube top, black tube top. That's what it looks like on that video. Explain the leggings. So I don't purport to have the answers to all this because I don't, y'all. I don't. But I don't want us to be gaslit. Take notes of how they're reporting things and who said what before they start blaming social media. Because even though people don't be liking the way we report stuff, we do be getting stuff right. Okay? We do get stuff right when it comes to this stuff. All right. Now, do we go on speculation land? So do they. But I'm just letting you guys know we don't want to be gaslit here. We don't want to be gaslit. We don't. They said they found a head and a torso. Then how do they know what was on her finger? Was her body dismembered or not? That's the question. Shh, everything. Why were her leggings mentioned? Head and torso, says Jamie. Do you see what I'm saying? You guys, what was it? Was it Friday when I went live? I said, you guys, I don't know about the dismemberment. And then shout out to BJ during the week. She's like, listen, they're trying to gaslight us. We got to put this out. Who said dismemberment first? And that got, do you see what I'm saying? They're changing the tune. And don't forget the jewelry. Thank you for saying this. They said they found her in jewelry. Is it possible that she had been deceased for a while and her body parts start detaching? Maybe that's the thing. But dismemberment is a little bit different than a whole detachment. That's different, right? Like natural decomposition, and I forget the name. There's a specific term, y'all. Shout out to the people that deal with this stuff because I don't know how y'all do it, but there's a specific term where the body starts detaching from itself, right? Like because it's advanced stages of decomposition, right? And so that's what it does. So is it possible that she wasn't dismembered and these were just her body was just put in a bag? She was only 71 pounds. Okay. And and then please Top Dog, tell them that we don't know when she died. We don't know how long she's been in this hot ass car in Cali weather. We don't know where this car was driven to. It's called, thank you. This is the term, disarticulation. Thank you for saying this, my love. Shout out to all the beautiful, wonderful, educated people in the chat, y'all, even though I forget stuff because it's just how my brain works. Disarticulation is what this is called. It's when the body starts naturally detaches from itself after advanced stages of decomposition. Thank you. Thank you, Ginger Bee. Thank you. Literally. Daphne, thank you so much for the $10. You do a great job at reporting and following up on sources. Thank you. I'm glad that I found your channel. Daphne Joy, thank you so much for being a wonderful supporter and member. And thank you for that. Thank you. Well, and like I said, man, like, thank you Google. Blair Blurk, Sassy, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Shout out to Storm, she kept putting the name there and I just didn't see it. Blair Blurk is the attorney, but there isn't a whole lot of information. Why hasn't Blair given a statement on behalf of his client, if it's his client, or maybe we're just speculating? Oh, and don't forget the jewelry that they found on her, right? The specific studs. They said studs, a bracelet. There's pictures of her with like a very expensive Cartier bracelet. You know, imagine being 13, 12, 13, 14 with a Cartier bracelet. I mean, I got an Alex Anani bracelet and that was pretty expensive for my budget. She was around a lot. In the earrings, yes. But I do wonder if, I think there's reasons to question whether this body was dismembered or not at this point. All right, hold up, guys. Let me pull another article. Pull another article that I found. Hold up. Let me go back here real quick. Oh.
Hopefully the client's being honest.
1 second.
You know, and telling his lawyers what part he's had, what kind of relationship he's had. But ultimately, how we defend the case depends on what the evidence is, obviously what the charges are. But, you know, do they have digital evidence? Do they have a bunch of snitches flipping? Do they have, you know, videos, like Matt said, showing a sexual relationship or something that shows more than just, you know, a odd connection between an older teen and a younger teen. You know, it really depends on what the evidence is. So I think it's very early. And as much as it's so challenging with a high profile client, because you're going to have to do damage control and brand damage control and all of that.
We're not worried about that. We're not worried about damage control, brand control. We're not worried about that. Put a 1 in the chat if you're worried about the damage and the brand and the, I'm not. We need to find out what happened. Like, that should be first and foremost, period. I'm sorry. Like, I know if he didn't do any, if he didn't do it, let's just put that out there, then they need to clear what happened. They need to figure this out, period.
Here, the main concern should be his liberty, which is the criminal exposure that he carries.
Yeah, that's big, right? Because who cares about your brand if you're stuck in prison? You can just ask Diddy about that, right? Hey, Sarah,
just ask Diddy about that. Mind you, News Nation got sued by Diddy for misinformation. Lady Locks, thank you so much for the $4.99. I've been wondering why there's not more info on Celeste's movement. It's been all about David. I feel you. I feel like you rock, Rabbit. Thank you so much. Lady Locks, thank you so much again for the support. Appreciate it. Like, y'all are laughing. I'm just saying. You said his father? Hold up. Let me see. This is the first. His father is his attorney. He has a biological brother and sister, Gray at Content. This is interesting. Now, hold up. Let me pull some info real quick because I didn't know. That's interesting. Huh. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Hold up. Hold up, guys. I want to see this breakdown real quick. Give me 1 second, you guys.
last week, I had made a video about the ongoing situation with music artist David and how he had potentially ruined his entire career and life due to his potential involvement with the missing 14-year-old girl named Celeste Hernandez. David went from aspirations of gaming and streaming fame to becoming an internet superstar musician with his songs trending all over TikTok. And for more information on his rise, you guys can check out my last video on this topic. But today I have updates for you guys, including more evidence that makes David look even guiltier than he did before. I told you last time that when they
and we reviewed this already for the most part, right? Like, and Survivor Speaks, thank you so much for the 999. His father. So David's father is an attorney, and he has a biological brother and sister. Great content. Thank you so much, Survivor Speaks. Sorry, I had to look this up real quick because I'm looking at something else that's coming in. But again, no more information. What was his sister doing? But he doesn't have, so the person that's quote unquote seen with Celeste at these concerts, that's not his bio brother. This is just somebody he calls a brother, right? Survivor Speaks, is that correct? Because I feel like I said, we have a lot of like different kinds of information. We don't have enough.
Found the dismembered body in the back of his Tesla, that he tried to completely ignore the situation and continue with his countrywide tour that he was on at the time. But now the situation has gotten to a point where they had to totally cancel the rest of his shows, and his label Interscope has also pulled all marketing and promotion on him amid this investigation. And as reported last time, he was complying with the authorities, but the police have still not publicly listed him as a person of interest. And based on the evidence I have, David has still been extremely active online, even as recently as yesterday. So let's start with the fact that people had been calling David out with these Epstein.
So he's very active online. Has his attorney advised him of this? Allegedly, he's been running some of these. Well, he definitely started the Reddit account, the one that's over 250 plus people. Definitely. He can't help himself. He grew up in the age of the internet. He said so himself. I think he can't help himself but be around the internet and, talk to people online and be with people online. I don't know if that's the smartest thing for him to do, honestly. I'm just saying. No, nothing has been. Who said this, Natasha? Nothing has been. Clearly, Shelly, he kind of gives me that he would struggle with any listening. I did a small video. Let me find the interview. Hold on. Thank you so much, Survivor Speaks. Yeah, let me know what you did. Addiction to the internet is a real thing, by the way. Yeah, it really is. The internet raised him. He was raised by the internet. He said, I don't know, man. You know how they used to say, like, when for me, I mean, I grew up playing outside. I was always outside. And then, like, it was bad to be outside all the time. And then they want us inside. Then the street lights would turn on. Then you go inside. That was kind of my generation. So I don't know people, like, even my kids have not grown up, I would say, they have the internet, but they're not growing up on the internet, if that makes sense. It's a little bit different, I would say.
EDP rumors since last year. Although he went back and turned off his comments on this specific TikTok, someone had left a comment as early as February 2024 saying, waiting for LAPD to get your ass for messing with a 13-year-old girl, on a TikTok that he had captioned, me to everyone I tricked into thinking this was a love song. And even back 2 weeks ago when the body was initially discovered, a Reddit user had commented, this guy is a PDF from what I've heard. My sister, who is now in 9th grade, told me that he was dating an 8th grader. Let's just call her C. And
look, I mean, all of this has been well documented, you guys. Like, where does the other TikToker put that out there too? People knew that he was into little kids. I don't know how that is. I don't. That's crazy. And then nobody reported it. That's not normal. It's not at all.
She would go on trips with him to LA. They're all in 9th grade now, and it turns out C's friends knew and he would pay them to keep their mouth shut. C has been missing for over a month now and no one knows her whereabouts. Definitely something strange going on. Which does line up with photos of David handing what appears to be teenagers a brown bag and also a stack of cash. There was also a clip that resurfaced where David appears on stream with who people are saying is Celeste. And the girl in the video says something very strange.
I media trained you No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one.
Crazy.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything goes. Everything.
So
That's just crazy. Crazy. Crazy.
he tells his moderators there to straight up delete everything. Also, pay attention to the chat, as his fans literally joked about him going on an Epstein flight. They also talk about a David and Celeste Island trip, while also saying that he is both cancelled and cooked. Someone also released a video from one of his concerts where he plays this unreleased song where David says this. I mean, come on, guys. It was like this guy was addicted to dry snitching on himself in his songs and his music videos. And in a song called Decide that he released back in 2022, you know, back when this girl Celeste would have been 11 years old, David sings, I know what the problem is, save your tears, 7 years, I know life is complicated. When obviously in 7 years from then, she would have been of age.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Okay, so the plan is hopefully this music.
Now, Benny Blanco, I guess, was, do y'all remember? I heard reports about this, because I know TMZ reported this, right? Because he was out there hanging out in the house too. Hold on. Let's see. Is this it? God, my goodness. Yo, I'm telling you, man, this is crazy. Coco's mom, thank you for the 5. People need to stop closing their doors and open their mouths. Wrong is wrong, period. Say it louder, Coco's mom. Say it louder. There's your Interscope. Shout out to Diddy Docket. Shout out to Diddy Docket, my boo Diddy Docket. Interscope, this is Josh right here. And look at the picture of them. There isn't this the this is what's his name? I forgot his name. Isn't it Drewski? It kind of looks, he looks like the bodyguard too for a minute there. Look at this property though. This is an aerial view of this property. Benny pretty weird. I think all Hollywood people are weird. You said per questions posted by KTLA News and details from investigators. Celeste's body is badly decomposed, not dismembered, unless there's a leak. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get people after I'm done today. I'm gonna get people in my comments like rabbit. Maybe she wasn't dismembered. I'm telling you, man, because I had people push back last time. Honestly, crazy, man.
Everything takes off crazy next year.
Why is he saying? Why are you saying that like you're not like up there, gang?
Well, I'm not there yet, but hopefully it's like even crazier next year. And then I go on crazy year after year for the next 3 years, and then on the 4th year I retire, and on the 5th year I'm off the grid, living somewhere like on an island with this crazy crib, no social media, no digital footprint. I'm just gone. In 5 years, I'm gonna be gone.
Will you still remember me?
Yeah, bro. You'll have like the secret code to the mansion.
Yeah.
You can pull up on every.
What's the secret code? Give us the first 2 numbers.
Absolutely not.
Now, 5 years from that clip would also be when Celeste would be 18 years old. There was also rumors that the two of them even shared a Spotify playlist together, and there was a video from June 27th of last year where it looks like someone is sneaking her backstage at one of David's shows. Now, that looks to me like the body language of someone who is trying to be hidden. And it really does make me question, like, how many people were complicit in this cover-up? How many people knew that David was running around with this underage missing girl? Because even in his Discord, it's quite apparent that some of his fans kind of knew what was going on.
And I had the idea to kind of make this first music video introduce a character that I had been kind of ideating for a really long time. That's why you see him with the blindfold and the bloody shirt aesthetic and the bow tie. I'm really big into anime and I'm really big into manga. and I wanted to make my own manga series at one point, and I was writing a lot of poems and writing a lot of things for it. And a big part of that manga was an evil version of me named Itami, which means pain in Japanese. And
this is, I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Let me know. We just had a conversation about this earlier. What do you guys think?
And he wears his blindfold, and he's basically an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego. And the story of the manga went like I was a detective, and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments.
You said if people have star patches on your face, you're not taking them serious. That's like aren't they like pimple patches? I could be wrong. I wish I had pimple patches. Well, maybe they did, but you're not taking them serious even if they have stars? Come on now.
And he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective. I'd be like solving murders that I'm committing myself. He's holding the knife with a bloody thing. You get the girl who's basically like the ghost of the person that he killed. Was his first victim in the manga.
Other than that,
wait. Isn't there like a movie or a book about this? Because this is giving like Shutter Island almost, right? Kind of like that, right?
Internet investigators found an old video of David cleaning someone's shoes, captioned, "I clean people's shoes as a side hustle, by the way." And then they also found a picture of the girl Celeste sitting on a bus with the very same Jordans. And things would only get creepier when a now deleted user in his Discord server, who people suspect was Celeste, shared a photo where she has a David tattoo on her ring finger, which dons a wedding ring. The same user also shared what appears to be her and David backstage laying down together. And in this alleged screenshot, David even claims that he and the deleted user have a kid on the way back in July of 2024, which people obviously speculate could be the very reason that she ended up losing her life. And keep in mind, guys, at this time, all the information I'm sharing in this video is pure speculation. And technically, it is innocent until proven guilty, no matter how bad it may look.
Guys, everything is speculation. Let's be very clear. We don't know. We are left to speculate, and then we're being shamed for speculating. Even the major media outlets are shaming us, but they're using our speculation to talk about the speculation.
There was also old chats dug up where David says that he was addicted to watching videos. And to me, with some of this, it's like, at what point do they really consider like shutting down Discord or having a much heavier moderation system on that? I just really feel like every time some sick shit is happening, Discord is always involved as the means of communication. Now, to get back to the evidence,
I'm telling you, Discord is gonna be changing here pretty soon. They're gonna do some legislation where, and to a certain degree. Oh, girl. She's playing a game and she's really into it. It's not working? Bring it over here. Now, why do we have to do that? Bring it over here. Let me see. Okay, give me a second, my honey.
Back in January of last year, David had posted a video on TikTok in which a user says, "Please adopt me, I need it." And David tags an account with the username 09-07 and says, "Should we?" And I want you guys to just take a wild guess whose birthday was on September 7th, which is also the very same day that David released his song Romantic Homicide, which, like I told you last video, was the disturbing imagery of a body being thrown into the trunk of a car. I mean, it's like all the dominoes are falling, all the evidence is lining up against David. I don't really know what.
Art imitates life. Is this like just a crazy, the butterfly effect? How does this happen? You do a music video about this and then like a child gets found in the trunk of your car. This is the intrigue of this whole situation.
More people need to see. He also made this video in 2024 when your car declined to therapy and they bring in that one Hello Kitty girl that
Thank you. A manifestation of this? Y'all got to be like literally. My goodness.
met in 2021, and apparently this girl was known for her love of Hello Kitty. There are alleged Instagram story leaks from her where she has Hello Kitty Crocs on and is potentially talking about David's Hello Kitty doll. From the same Instagram leaks, people found her wearing a bracelet that matches this photo of a hand on David's face, and they also found her purse in the background sitting on the couch of one of David's TikTok videos with the same 2 keys you see there on the strap. And there was even speculation that David got the license plate on his Sprinter van changed to match her name. And people also found some alarming reposts on his TikTok page where there are jokes about ending your girlfriend's life for talking to other guys.
I saw
and
this.
Being so jealous about stories from her past that you blow her brains out.
Because that's normal. Because that's just like me after hearing about her past with other boys. I'm jealous and utterly disgusted by her actions. Because that's just normal. That's normal to feel this way, y'all. I'm telling you, that's not cute. Anybody that's ever done, like, what?
Like, David, what past are you talking about? Like, back when
He's
she
a
was
child?
in elementary school on the playground, you sick bastard?
Like, literally, when she was watching something.
And here is where things get
Crazy.
even stranger to me. Like I said, the police had not listed him as like a person of interest or even a suspect. And like I said, there is evidence that David has been online as recently as yesterday. Some of you may know that David was really close to a lot of the biggest streamers online. Him and this guy Jason had even made a song together that has now been taken off YouTube. And this streamer Lacey revealed that David had been watching his stream only 3 days ago.
David was in the viewer list on my stream and he just unfollowed me on Twitch. Is that like, that's fucking creepy, no? Like, look, there's a blank for where the following was.
And just yesterday, he was tracked on Fortnite playing several matches of the casual reload game mode on his account. So I don't know, it's like the guy's whole life could be at stake and he's out here just running Fortnite, like living freely. I mean, something about that just sits so wrong with me. Like, why is this guy not behind bars? I mean, honestly, this sick might be sitting back loving the attention, because since this whole situation went viral, he's been breaking his own streaming records. Because
You think he likes the attention that he's getting right now? Let me share with you guys some other stuff, man, that I tagged too. Look at this.
Everyone, wait a minute. Look at this video. Oh my God.
Is that her?
Who is that girl dancing on the ride with a tattoo on her chest?
D4VD David. Unreleased song title. Celeste. Quote from the lyric. Oh, Celeste, the girl. My name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes.
I think this video was uploaded like 7:26 to 7:29. I went back to the page and trying to find the date because I forgot to save the date. And I discovered that the video has been deleted. It's no longer on our page. This is wild, you're like, wow.
Anybody seen this before? Look at this.
Who is this dancing in the video? I'm gonna leave it right here for you to come to your own conclusion.
It looks like her. You said it's another girl. Put a one in the chat, y'all. Put a one in the chat if you had seen this before. They said that there's 2 Celestes. That's not her. Is that the other Celeste? Lord, I'm telling you, man. This decoy. There's a decoy Celeste. There's this Celeste. I'm just like, what? That's not her. You had not seen this? Yeah, I tagged this and it hadn't gone a lot. I tagged it yesterday. I thought it would have blown up by today. Or excuse me, by like this morning. That is her. I don't know, man. Let me play it again for those that have not seen it. This is a new video, okay? It's a good minute long and it's by Bundles of Pearls on TikTok.
Conclusion.
There's David.
Everyone, wait a minute. Look at this video. Oh my God. Who is that girl dancing on the ride with a tattoo on her chest?
She has a tattoo. I wouldn't say it's on her chest, but it's like on her lower area. Now, somebody said in the chat, why would this be deleted? Well, does he have access to her social media? Is there access to the social media there? So it makes you wonder.
For VD David, unreleased song title, Celeste, quote from the lyric, oh, Celeste, the girl. My name tattooed on her chest, smell her on my clothes like cigarettes.
I think this video was uploaded like
Now,
7:26 to 7.
Is she at a bar? Because she wouldn't even, I don't know, but certain places I guess you could go to a bar if they, because what is it? Like if you're a minor and you go to a bar with other people, you could get in there. You just can't be next to a bar.
29, I went back to the page and trying to find the date because I forgot to save the date. And I discovered that the video has been deleted. It's no longer on our page. This is wild, y'all. Like, wow. Who is this dancing in the video? I'm gonna leave it right here for you to come to your own conclusion.
Okay, hold up. She does have a tattoo. She's got a tattoo on her waist, and then there's one like up on that, like I wouldn't say it's on her chest, but it's definitely like in her abdomen area.
Everyone, wait a minute. Look at this video. Oh,
I want to get to the part.
Everyone, wait, Everyone, wait a minute. Look at this video. Everyone, wait a minute. Look at this. Who is that girl dancing on the right with a tattoo on her chest?
D4VD David. Unreleased song title. Celeste. Quote from the lyric.
Here, my honey.
Celeste, the girl. My name tattooed on her chest.
Okay, hold up.
On my clothes like.
This right here. This is the picture I want to get to. Huh. They're next to a bar. Sorry, I had to mute for a minute. 1 second, guys. I got somebody at my door.
Cigarettes.
I think this video was uploaded like 7:26 to 7:29. I went back to the page and trying to find the date because I forgot to save the date. And I discovered that the video has been deleted. It's no longer on our page. This is wild, y'all. Like, wow. Who is this dancing in the video? I'm gonna leave it right here for you to come to your own.
I need to get a screenshot of that bar picture. Hold up. Now there's another picture we need to see, guys. Give me 1 second. This guy right here
was going down with that.
He like what he likes. David likes what he likes.
Was going down with that.
He like what he likes. David likes what he likes.
Was going down with that.
He like what he likes. David likes what he likes.
I don't know who this guy is, but he's heard saying David likes what he likes, and I guess he worked closely with David. And I do wonder about that. Like, it does kind of make you wonder, what is his proximity to David? I want to hear the full context of this conversation, if that makes sense, but we don't know. We don't. He said he likes what he likes. He took the videos. I don't know. Is the tow yard log for 8/26/2025 missing? If so, why? Who said it was missing? All right, guys. Oh, yeah, you have to go give it. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go because I got to go tend to baby bunny. She's doing the most. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button. I will see you guys. If more information comes out, we're going to talk about it. But it's just so much speculation. Let me know. Did you guys see that other video that I showed you before? It definitely looks like her. It might not be her. I played it over. Check it out. But what do you guys think? You said obviously not her. You said H. It's a lot of videos out there. No one said anything. No one said anything. I thought for a second Celeste was identified as a 23-year-old. Well, there's another woman that they're saying was like a decoy. I don't know. And it's a chain around her waist in large. So does she have more than one tattoo? I don't know, you guys. But y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments. I do have to let y'all know because, you know, Baby Bunny, she got the sitter over there and she kind of, y'all know I have her everywhere. She gets to go everywhere. Hey, Sylvia. So I will see you guys later on. I might drop a short, but I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.